Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I have my update for August for my Panda Face Palette project. If you're into this project, every year for the past, I think this is the 4th year that I'm doing it. I grab one face palette that is my main palette for the year, and my goal for that is to finish it completely if I can. Then I grab a secondary palette, which is something that I start to work on so that I don't get bored by using only the first face palette. And then from time to time I will rotate in a third palette, which is something sort of like a rotation, so that I can start using it up, and maybe that palette will become a secondary palette for my upcoming year, and the second one will become the primary palette. But that doesn't always work that way. I just have 3 palettes on this project right now, and I wanted to show them to you. I wanted you to see the progress that I've been making, and I know that it's gonna be a successful project pan more than ever this year, and I hope that you are following along and that you can enjoy. I have a project pan playlist. I have all of my project pans on that playlist, so you can binge watch on how I finish my makeup that I have in my collection. And particularly this year, I started project panning again. A 100% project pan. I'm a 100% project panner right now because I want to make sure to remove a lot of makeup from my collection. So if you want to see my Panda Face Palette project update, then just keep on watching. The first palette that I have, or the primary palette on this project, is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Mini Sculpture Unlocked. And on my last update, I showed to you guys that I finished the highlighter, and I already had finished the bronzer and the ambient lighting powder that it came with. So the only product that I had left was the blush. And you guys, I think I would have made more progress if I could have taken this with me on my trip. But I even tried to depot it, and you will see that a corner broke off, and I couldn't because I wanted to place it on a C palette so that I could take it with me, because I didn't want to take all of this palette with me if I only had one blush in this huge palette. So this is how the palette is looking. It's flatter. The blush is flatter than when you saw it last month, because I've been using it up. I have it on the apples of my cheeks today, and I use it sometimes more and sometimes less, but I use it almost every single time that I do my makeup when I'm at home. But I couldn't take this on my trip because I couldn't depot it, and I didn't want to break more of the blush. So I'm thinking that I will have this palette up until the end of the year, because I love my blushes, you guys, and I will have a video soon of blushes that I've used for the past 3 months, and the ones that are overlapping month per month and whatnot. And you will see that I have these every single month, and this is the blush that I've used the most. But I love mixing my blushes, and I don't always want to mix my blush with this one, and when I do it, I just get resentful. And I've already shown love to this palette, and I'm not gonna declutter it. I'm gonna keep it until I finish it, or maybe I will keep it until the end of the year. If I don't finish the blush, I don't finish it. But I know I can because I've finished all of these powders, and this blush is looking super warm. So you will see a close-up of this one, but it's the only thing that I have left. It's flatter, so it's on its way. Then for my second palette, this has so much progress, you guys, and I hit all the goals that I had for it. One was a goal that I didn't know if I was gonna reach, and I said it on my last update, but this is my Natasha Denona Tan Bronze and Glow palette, and I'm positive that I can finish most of this palette this year. This is how it's looking today, and you can see that I have almost like a quarter left of the glow cream base. I had like double the amount last month, so I'm hopeful that this month I can be done with it. This I'm wearing it underneath my bronzer as a base for my bronzer, because I don't like the shade of this on its own. Sometimes I use it, but I don't like how my makeup turns out. So I know I can finish it. It's just that it takes me a little bit longer since I'm not in love with the shade. So I think my goal for next month is to be done with this one for sure now, because I had double last month. So yeah, I think it's doable. Then for this one, I had a goal to reach and hit side pan on it, and you can see that I hit side pan, and I've expanded a little bit of the pans right here. This is one that it's gonna be the second hardest to finish because these I mixed with this one, but it's a yellowy type of glow, so you can see it right here. It's not something that I can wear and not compete with my complexion, you guys. I took this with me on my trip and I would wear it as eyeshadow, and I would create the latte look that it's so trendy right now, which is a brown smoky eye with this one and this one, and also use this on my cheeks, but it tends to look muddy. I wouldn't repurchase this. I would repurchase the Bloom palette, but I wouldn't repurchase the tan palette. The more I use it, the more I know that it wasn't for me, but I know I will finish it. And then for this one, I wanted to expand the pan and to see if I could hit side pan, and I'm so close to hitting side pan, but I definitely expanded the pan. If you compare it to last time, it's bigger, way bigger. And this I'm also wearing on my cheeks today. This I tend to wear as a bronzer and as a blush at the same time, and just mix it with blushes, but it's not the easiest palette to use, not for me. And then for the highlighter, I was thinking that I didn't see any progress, but then every time I use this on my cheeks for blush or for bronzer, I use this for my highlighter. So what I noticed is that it has all the engraving right here in the top, and now it doesn't have any. I've made sure to put my brush all over when I'm doing highlighter, and this is the highlighter that I'm wearing on my cheeks today, and I want to keep using it and using it and using it. If the highlighter is the only thing that I have left on this palette and I have nothing to press on this palette anymore, I can pass it on and I wouldn't mind, even though I love the formula of these highlighters. Since I can't depot them, it would be a waste to keep this full-size palette only because of the highlighter, but I'm gonna keep reaching for it until I finish these products, and I'm still a long way to go. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this by this year, but I know at least it will have one or maybe two pans empty when the year is over. So all of my goals were reached and I'm happy for that. And then last month I introduced a new palette, and this is the Makeup Geek C palette that my friend Janet gave to me. So I emptied it out because it had Makeup Geek shades, and I created a for blush type of face palette because I love blush so much, and I have a few here that I want to finish. I said that I wanted to make the most out of luster, then use more of Who's Poppy and expand the pan on that one, and then get use out of Alpine Bronze from MAC and the other one, which is Petal Power from MAC as well. And I've used this palette quite a bit. I've mixed it with all of the other blushes that I wear on a daily basis, and you can see the palette right here. My major goal was to expand the pan in luster. I wanted to hit side pan right here, but I actually expanded the pan all over. So even though I didn't hit side pan, I don't mind because the pan has been expanded quite a bit, and now I'm sure that I will be able to finish this blush before the year is over. And I also expanded the pan a little bit in Who's Poppy from Too Faced. Not quite as much as I wanted to, but the product is super thick right here, and I put my brush in here, so I didn't place my brush right next to the pan. But this is one of those blushes that it's glowy. It's sort of like an orgasm type of shade, but with a little bit more coral in it. This one is more on the sheer side, so I would mix these two together. These I would use on its own. It's so beautiful, and I know I will finish that blush. But I've been so happy with the amount of progress that I've had with luster. I'm so sad that they discontinued it because it was one of my favorite shades. It's one of my favorite NARS shades, but I want to make sure that I use it up. Like I did with Madly, it's something that I don't want to get rid of. I owe it to this blush since I love it so much not to let it go to waste. So yeah, you guys, I reached all of the goals that I set on my last update. So now I'm ready to set new goals and see how we do for my next update. Okay, so for my Hourglass blush, I want to make sure that I hit the grid right here on this corner. It's super thin right here. I tend to apply the brush all over, but my brush is a precise brush from Sonia G and the Lotus collection. So I know I can, if I can see a little bit of a grid, I will be making progress and making sure that I finish this palette before the year is over. So that will be my main goal for this one. Not to finish it, but to keep flattening it out and then also to see a little bit of the grid. For the Natasha Denona one, I want to finish the glow cream base, and I also want to expand the pan right here for this color, for the super glow, and to hit side pan and expand the pan in the blush and bronze powder, which is this one. For the highlighter, I just want to keep working on it and just keep using it and see how much progress I can make on it while using the rest of the palette. I'm not gonna set too difficult of a goal for these powders because I don't know how realistic it is that I will be able to finish this palette completely this year, or these 3 shades this year, if I'm using other things. But I want to make sure that it's closer to being done so that next year I can maybe grab it as my main palette or again as a secondary palette and see if I can finish it before I move. This is one that if I could hit pan in the highlighter, I would be super happy, but I usually apply my brush like this all over the pan. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it, and highlighter is super hard to finish. Those are my goals for the palette. And then for the Makeup Geek palette, I want to make sure that I hit side pan and I finish all of this blush right here. And if I have to repress it, I will repress it again if it's unreachable. But I'm gonna try and see if I can reach and finish the most amount of blush without repressing it. And I want to expand the pan on this one and keep using those 2 blushes. So that's it for my update for my Panda Face Palette project, you guys. If you're doing this project, please let me know below, and also let me know what you think I should do to make sure that I finish the products that I want to finish this year. I do project planning content and luxury makeup videos every week, and I post them every week on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. It helps my channel a lot. I love you, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.